Vitalik Buterin is one of the most influential figures in the entire cryptocurrency space. The co-founder of Ethereum is as much of a technical genius as he is a thought leader. Between the latest Ethereum-sponsored crypto conference and crypto making the news for its role in the donations to Ukraine, he has once again found himself in the spotlight. Vitalik sat down with Time Magazine's Andrew Chow for a great interview. The two spoke about a wide range of subjects, including pricey transaction fees, possible authoritarian use of crypto, and even anti-aging technology. We're going to take a closer look at his comments on the negative, dystopian possibilities of blockchain technology and digital currency. Stick around to the end though. We're going to hook you up with some tips and tricks to keep you and your wealth protected. Welcome back to Profit Protection. On our channel, we bring you news about ideas and information from the thought leaders in the financial world. We break down headlines about financial markets, cryptocurrency, and digital assets from the people who understand them the best. If you found this channel educating and entertaining, we would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. This is the easiest way to support us, so we can continue to bring you high-quality content. If you haven't heard of Vitalik Buterin, it's time to get to know the guy. Vitalik Buterin is one of the biggest names in cryptocurrency. His role as co-founder of the hugely successful Ethereum coin has gained him a large, almost cult-like following. He is as much of a techie as he is a deep thinker. His level-headed approach to rough waters has calmed many investors down when they needed it the most. While still getting his high-level education, he released a white paper detailing his ideas surrounding a new coin, Ethereum. Vitalik was lucky enough to receive a grant to pursue the cryptocurrency's development. Eventually, he co-founded Ethereum at only 19 years old. Since then, he's been hailed by the community as a literal and philosophical leader of the Ethereum user base. In the past, Vitalik has mentioned that he does not wish for the community to depend on him as a thought leader. Rather, he prefers to focus on the research and development of Ethereum and other crypto efforts. If Vitalik Buterin is a driving force behind the growth of crypto, what would make him afraid of its future? The opportunities that cryptocurrency and blockchain technology present to society are open-ended. These advances have turned both the hopeless economists and the average retail investor alike into dreamers. When you are at the forefront of emerging technologies and markets, it's easy to see the positives. Vitalik is a smart guy. He understands that nothing is as cut and dry as it seems. Not only that, but he isn't afraid to face the facts. Fortunately, the Ethereum co-founder is optimistic despite his realistic views. For another great example of this, check out our video on his comments about welcoming a dreaded crypto winter. During Vitalik's interview with Time Magazine, he talked about what it was like to realize that not every developer by his side held the same opinions and personal values as he did, saying, "I deeply believed in decentralization as a kind of this holistic vision, even wanting the Ethereum Foundation to be as decentralized as possible." He then compared himself to the Ethereum co-founder, going on to say, Charles Hoskinson, on the other hand, believes in crypto decentralization, but thinks that companies should be very conventional. And a lot of other people think that way as well. They ended up moving on and founding their own projects, and you can see how those projects are different from Ethereum in ways that reflect their own values. This is something too important to note as we watch national governments and corporations alike begin to take stances on cryptocurrency and digital assets. It's easy to feel as though everyone on your side is also on the same page as you. In the real world, this is just not the case. Everyone from a Reddit user to a federal politician has personal values and perspectives that shape the way they see crypto and blockchain technology adoption. Because of this, there is an inherent risk of misusing the opportunities that it presents. It's one thing to disagree with another businessman, but what is Vitalik's true fear when it comes to crypto adoption? One standout quote from Vitalik's interview summed up his main point. In general, my view is that new technologies always introduce the possibility for people to do both good and terrible things. The system that blockchain technology provides is incredibly useful, but the way it is used depends on the agenda of those in power. What sort of dystopian future might Vitalik be imagining? The Ethereum conference where this interview took place featured many talks from developers and others. A close collaborator of Vitalik's, Nathan Scheider, gave an entire lecture focused on the dystopian possibilities of crypto. It certainly made an impression on Vitalik. The Ethereum co-founder explained his own thoughts as he looked forward to the future, saying, "I think it's very real with or without crypto. The way I would describe the dystopian potential of centralized crypto is it allows governments and corporations to be authoritarian and lazy. In the past, laziness has always been a check on authoritarianism. There's a Chinese phrase, jian gao huang di huan, meaning the sky is high and the emperor is far away. That is the sort of thing that is true for most of history, but it's becoming less and less true today. He makes a great point. These alternative markets and currencies were built to defy the fundamentals that our current system is based on. Despite this, it is totally within the government's control to regulate and oversee it if authorities see fit. There are legislative barriers, but that isn't enough to protect these blockchain-based technologies from being utilized by the government. The sky remains just as high, but the emperor is closer than ever. What sort of implications does this hold? Vitalik focused on one factor in particular. He said, "The potential for centralized digital technology to reduce the costs of shutting down groups of people you find annoying is definitely very real. I do think crypto has an important place in its ability to be a system without intermediaries. And being without intermediaries makes it harder to kind of like quietly shut down people without checks and balances." He made his points very straightforward. When or if the government or other regulators step in and to control this growing monetary system, there's much less stopping them from freezing assets and funds. Exchanges, the blockchain ledger, wallets, and more could become targeted if the owners do not sympathize with authorities. This should make anyone nervous, regardless of your view on the government. Profit protection doesn't cover politics, and we aim to provide information that's purely educational and entertaining. We aren't here to decide who deserves to have their assets frozen or not. When talking about concepts like this, it's important to focus on the fundamentals. With these possibilities on the horizon, what sort of real-world scenarios can we examine to get a better understanding of where things are headed? Like any new field of technology that's beginning to see mainstream adoption, crypto space is full of shady people and groups with malicious intent. If you've lived in society for long enough, this won't surprise you. Apart from whispers of government overreach, Vitalik mentioned another huge danger. And also much more boring pedestrian stuff. Scams and hacks and ransomware. We're definitely concerned about those kinds of things. I do know having lots of people in the crypto space does reduce the chance of those things happening. My general view is that there's lots of what we can do to reduce the bad and to amplify the good. Sometimes amplifying the good can even crowd out the bad. People have been deceiving and stealing from one another as long as we have lived in communities. Just because things are going digital doesn't mean that will change. Scammers have been attempting to swindle people out of their bank account information since the beginning of time. What's to make you think that your crypto wallet password isn't even more valuable to them? The underlying lesson from his comments on both authoritarianism and scams is clear. These new technologies have presented new and dynamic ways to enhance our society, but it's a double-edged sword. There will always be authorities seeking more power and selfish people swindling others. The possibilities swing both ways. Let's take a step back from the pessimism and consider what you can do to keep yourself and your wealth protected. Let's start small. When it comes to hackers, there are a few options you have to stay one step ahead. The first and most effective is to keep your cryptocurrency secured in a cold wallet. A cold wallet is essentially a fancy name for a secure storage device like a USB. There are many companies that make safe, effective crypto wallets. When it comes to the possibilities of the government freezing your accounts for wrongful accusations, there's not a ton that you can do as an average citizen. If you are afraid of that possibility in the future, consider creating multiple wallets and addresses to spread out your money. If you're doing unethical things and using crypto at the same time, we don't have any advice for you. As crypto scams become more and more frequent, you should be on guard as ever. When it comes to avoiding these con artists, remember a few simple rules. Use multi-factor authentication. This adds more layers of protection to your account and can help you if someone manages to find out some of your login data. Double check the URLs that anyone online suggested you use. It's not uncommon for scammers to copy website designs and use a URL that is slightly different to trick people. Be rational about opportunities. This means considering questions like who is receiving my money, what needs to happen for me to make a profit or at least my money back, is this person or group who they say they are. Do your homework. Research plenty of sources that tell you more about any opportunity that you may be offered. The odds are you aren't the first one to deal with them. If you are, run. When it comes to the dangers that we all could face in crypto's future, a good rule of thumb is to prepare more but stress less. Approaching your finances with logic instead of emotion is the key to making smart decisions and avoiding the new pitfalls ahead of us. Cryptocurrency is changing the way we understand money and value. It's helping the regular layperson take back control of what they do with their finances. We truly appreciate your views here at Profit Protection. We are bringing you valuable information and ideas from the thought leaders across finance, cryptocurrency, and digital asset spaces. If you enjoy this channel and have learned anything from it, please offer your support by liking and subscribing. It helps us to continue to bring you high-quality content that both educates and entertains. Once again, thank you for tuning in. See you next time.